What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another live to roll. This week it's just Tom and I hanging out. We had a guest cancellation, and our boy Bobby is still kind of on the up and up. Or trying to get a little on the mend. Yeah. So we're gonna just hang out and do a little quadcast.
We're
Whatever you guys
celebrating
got
Life Day.
questions, celebrating my 19th year life day, I guess. So yeah, we'll get into,
And I
I
got
guess,
some
our little
hot
intros.
questions for Shawn because
All
he's been
right, there
hot.
we go.
So you gotta, stay around and watch the rest of the podcast to see those. But me and Shawn are just laughing before the show and joking around. So forgive the giggles. But hey, I'm Tom Conaway. I'm C6B quadriplegic for the last 25 years, and super excited to be here. What up, Ben? What up, Mike? What up, Andrew? Thank you, everybody, for being queued up in the chat, waiting and ready to hang out with us. We're super excited to be here. And not much is up. Just here celebrating with Shawnee Boy. 19 years. That's a long time. Um, how do you feel about Life Day, man? Is it uh, positive for you, negative, kind of neutral? Like, you got any thoughts and feelings? We've talked about this before a little bit, but let's just dive on in.
I mean, for me, I guess I try to look at it as a positive thing. For like, it's a celebration of the new life, whatever. I don't want to look at it as some like sad day or whatever every year. Like, oh, that I fear coming and like
Yeah.
gonna dwell on. So like, I try to just embrace it, like live it. It actually is also my younger brother's birthday, so
Okay.
uh, so it's just kind of one of those things like, yeah, like celebrate his birthday, celebrate my life day, and you know
It's funny, like first of all, what up, Dominic? What up, Zach? Nicole,
yeah.
thank you guys. Quad Life, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out today. Um, what I was saying is, I feel like the longer it goes on, I don't know. Like I've been in chair for so long now. There have been a couple years. It came and went. I didn't even think about it. Like all my family would always like kind of go out to dinner and stuff when we were like living together. But like a couple years ago, we're all like the kids have all left. We're all grown up now. Mom and dad are doing their thing. We're doing our thing. And the day just came, and I thought about that day, but I didn't say anything to my mom and dad, and like or my brother and sister, and none of us did until like the next day or like the day later, and we kind of just let it pass. And it was just another day. And I don't know, like it kind of felt cool, like not even acknowledge. But I do think it's important to give yourself credit for making it another year. Like we're here talking about all the time. Like there's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of adversity, there's a lot to overcome. You know, having a disability and being in this situation, and I think an additional excuse to kind of take note, celebrate, give yourself some credit and some props for like, hey, like made another year. Like I'm doing good, I'm healthy, I'm living life, I'm rocking it. Like I think that's important to recognize, and I think it can be a good thing to do.
No, it is for sure. And that's what like this year I'm not like doing anything like to celebrate it or anything. Like it kind of is just another day. To be honest, I've been like busy just trying to get stuff done, doing different things, and like
Yeah.
just going through it. And I had to like kind of tell myself like put a post up at least. It's like one of those times of the year that I always try to do that. But yeah, I'm not really doing much of anything. At least I'm just gonna be hanging out and with you when everybody in the chat.
That's right.
uh,
Gonna have to smoke a fat celebratory J right after this. Hey, um,
yeah,
what up, Juan, Kenneth, Donna, Terry, THC Goddess? What is up, everybody? Thank you
yeah.
all
What's
again for being here, and thanks for putting with us at the beginning. I just wanted to make sure to give some love to everybody in the chat because we really appreciate you guys. Um, yeah, I
Oops.
it was a my accident. At least it involved like my whole family, and um, so it wasn't just kind of my day. It's
That's
like
true. Yeah.
trauma. I think like we all experienced, in our own way. But it is nice to like look back and reflect to kind of how far we've all come and stuff.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, for you guys, like I could see that being a little bit different because it was like, the whole family was involved in the accident and like
Yeah.
just like but yeah. Uh,
Now I got a fun question for you. Maybe not so
all right.
fun. I don't know. Maybe this is like an offensive question amongst the disabled community. Don't cancel me. Um, if you could go back in time, change it, would you?
Dude, that's it. That is a tough question, and I like it's one of those things I've thought about so many times, especially after 19 years now of doing this, and like all the people and friends I've made,
Yeah.
like stuff I've done like with rugby, and then through Triumph and Live to Roll now, and like it would be hard to take all that back and like not live that life and like I mean, obviously, there's some stuff that I wish I didn't have to go through during that
Yeah.
period with the disability for sure. But like, yeah, I don't know. My life now, like, I don't have a lot of um, like real complaints or like regrets of things that like I wish I really like. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff I wish I could have done or things, but like,
Yeah.
shoot, especially now that I'm older. Yeah, like I'm not the younger adrenaline junkie I used to be that wanted to do all the wild shit that like now I'm pretty content with like living my life, traveling with friends and doing things and like just kind of like living as I am. Like I don't know, like it's
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I thought that's just a funny question I've seen. I don't think we should be living life like constantly asking like, what if this, what if that.
And
Um,
that's the other thing. You never want to be doing that, dude. Like
yeah.
I feel
But
like
I've thought about it too, like a shit ton before. Like if I'm being honest, I'm just curious what the like who Tom would be like without the chair and like without that stuff. Like I'd
yeah,
just be
cuz you
curious.
would probably be a completely different person. Like
Yeah,
your
it's
complete your entire like because it's
my
not
identity.
just
Yeah,
yeah
like it's
your entire exactly all your experiences would be different, everything you've done in your life would be so different and like it would be hard, it'd be tough to like for me I've had a pretty decent life, like I've learned to enjoy life, I've learned to I've made a lot of good friends, like some of my best friends now like are in chairs, like 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 I don't know, like
I
it,
like I've learned so much in my life, like from being disabled, from having my spinal cord injury, being in a wheelchair. Like I've gained so much perspective. Like I feel like, if anything, it's just like enlightened me to a lot that I otherwise, maybe would never have learned or experienced, and like learned so much as a result of it. So I don't know, like I don't think I'd ever trade all that life experience and knowledge and stuff. Like I think the fact that my road was harder in some ways, maybe than others, being disabled like majority of my life and stuff. But I'm very grateful for how much it's taught me, and it would be really hard for me to like turn my back on that and be like, no, like I want to skip over all those life lessons to, like have an easier time about it. But it's just obviously it's all hypothetical. Like who's to say, I would have learned in other ways or learned different things that maybe I haven't
yeah,
learned yet or
you never know
experienced.
what those experiences would have been, so
Yeah.
it's
And my
hard to
mom said in
say.
the chat, like, our whole family would be different. Like every
I'm
like
sure you would be.
the butterfly effect would be so crazy because it has had like such an insane like impact on all of our lives now. um, that yeah, that's just a trippy question. Now here's another question. Like the cure all comes tomorrow. It's like, oh, see, like Are you just taking it and hopping up and walking?
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I am.
I feel like yeah, that one I probably would like because I wouldn't lose my life experiences and my everything
Yeah,
I have done over the last 19 years. But yeah, to be like pain free and to be able to do some of the maybe not pain free. I mean, shit, dude, I'm getting older. I probably still have aches and pains and stuff now in my life. But like to not deal with a lot of stuff. If I to have bowel and bladder control, shit, I'll take that pill right now. Give me that pill today.
yeah.
To regain bowel bladder control. The walking I'm down for too, but like, yo, give me that one.
Uh,
And
for sure.
but yeah, no, I would do that one. I would do that if I could just wake up tomorrow and be like, yo, able-bodied. There's no rehab back to walking. My muscles and bones are just like structured and strong. And like, yeah, all right. The magic pill. Let's do that one.
No, for real. Yeah, I'd take that in a hot second too. Like, no second
Uh,
thought. Like, I've done the wheelchair life already.
I'll
I'm
still
ready
go
to
to
see.
real. I'll still go to rugby practices on Sunday and push in the fucking chair though,
Yeah.
just to hang out with my boys.
My sister said in the chat. I think we all came out pretty good. I wouldn't want to see the dark side. Yeah, what is that? Is that the dark timeline? We don't experience the accident, but we all just like turn out to be terrible people.
I know. See, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, dude, do we did we take
Uh,
some crazy life change and like who knows, dude? I don't know, man. That's uh
roll with Kenneth. My pain severity is pretty bad. I hate it. Yeah, I think that's something I would love to just turn off to. If there was like a magic way to just stop that, because chronic pain is not an easy or fun thing to deal with long term. Now, here's another question, just kind of segued from that. We are in the technological age, and tons of advancements in medicine, medical technology, particularly in the realm of curing paralysis. Quadriplegics probably are going to be the first ones to, I mean, are some of the first ones that be guinea pigs for these neural implants and spinal stimulators. Let's say like they get through, like you don't have to be the guinea pig to like test it out, but it's FDA approved and there's, maybe you're not walking again, but there's potential for some return of function. Would you do something like that, Sean?
possibly. I mean, it depends on what it all is. Like right
Like, what
now,
would I have to do to like excite you? Like,
well, see, no, I'd be down for something like that for sure. Like, my only fear is like the whole like right now with the Neuralink stuff and like the right like how many of the animals that they're trying that on have died. That scares the shit out of me. But if they figure all that stuff out and get it dialed in and they can do an implant or do something, I'll do the surgery. I mean, if and even if it is like the slow like the recovery where I have to like build up my strength and build it up, like it's not the magic pill that I'm just like walking. But yeah, if it starts with some of that bowel and bladder, and then some hand function, I would love for sure to get all that.
Uh, and this like question can go to everybody in the chat. Like, how do you guys feel about that kind of technology? Like, is it something that scares you, or would you consider it? Does it excite you? I always get excited about cool like sci-fi shit like that because I want to be half robot and have robot legs and robot body and still be Tom. But just be able to like do cool shit. But in the realm of reality, if like they could cybernetically enhance me with like a spinal stimulator, like a brain implant that would allow me to like reforge some of those connections and regain function, like that does excite me. I think it's cool. I think we'd probably be super scared to learn how many animals do die in medical testing like this every
Oh,
day.
that's yeah. You don't
So,
even want to know that kind of
like,
stuff.
that propaganda for Neuralink definitely was like not super great to hear about. But I've like looked a little bit more into it, and I don't think it was so black and white. They have lost a significant number of animals, which isn't anything to like take lightly, but they are making still lots of progress with stuff like this, and that's why they test on animals, just to make it safe for humans. Any event, it's just a little tangent. I was just kind of
No, that's the
curious.
stuff we all think about. We've all
Yeah, it's
talked about
chill.
like
But
amongst
like,
ourselves.
yeah, exactly. Like we talk about this, right? We talk about this off camera.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think most people have thought about it, talked about it at some point. So I mean, it's just one of those things. Like it, yeah. The technology really is getting like pretty interesting with a lot of that stuff. I think like they're at least to the point where I feel like if you're getting hurt nowadays, you're depending on where you are and how quick they can get treatment. Like severity of swelling and injury is like a little bit less than it used to be, at least at some. Like they know how to like minimize some of the initial damage at least. So there's
yeah,
progress. There's like
no, I mean
people are less paralyzed.
that's exciting. I mean, you and I have
I
seen a
mean,
lot of like at our local groups and stuff, because they're always hosted at like rehab hospitals and facilities. So I've seen, gosh, so many like newly injured people just going through that rehab process, and a lot of them do have function below their level, meaning like really incomplete in that they can move their feet a little bit or have full sensation. If like in spite of like significant loss of function, and still like even walking quads, and those weren't unheard of 20 or 30 years ago, or like
yeah,
there have been like ambulatory quads around for a while. But you're absolutely right. They've learned that like inflammation is the biggest danger and damage causer for like spinal nerves as a result of like trauma, and they've developed lots of methods to stop that from happening to the degree that it normally has in the past, which is super cool. um, I mean, I'm really grateful for my incompleteness. I don't have a lot of function below my level, but I do have like some bladder sensation, um, and stuff, which like I'm super grateful for. Do you
yeah.
have any function or like sensation below your level?
I do kind of have the bladder and bowel sensation. Like I know when I have to go, or if I am like leaking. Like when I'm leaking pee, like I get like my AD gets a little higher. It's just all I have a lot of the autonomic responses, and like even with my bowel, like I can tell when I like have to go, or if I have really bad gas, stuff like that. So yeah, I do have that little bit of sensation. I mean, it's not true sensation, but it's like that autonomic. Like I can
Yeah,
tell when something's going. Like I know if you're in the areas of like.
yeah.
um,
That's like same with my bladder. Like if my bladder is stretched to the max. Like well, one, I'll get AD, but I also get like some nerve sensation too, um, which I don't know. Like I didn't really understand what it was for a long time, but I'm super grateful for it now, because it tells me when my bladder's not happy or when I got to go pee. I feel like
yeah,
just being able to move my fingers would be an incredible game changer. Yeah, for sure. I can relate to that sentiment. I feel so like functional with my hands because I've had them for so long. Like I don't know, I can't even like think what it would be like to have normal hands, because like I don't have any memories of like being able to use like my fingers, have like good fine motor control, but I still like get frustrated all the time, like every day, um, not not being able to pick up stuff, especially my super floppy right hand. Um, it's gotten less functional over the years, and so I don't know, like it would just be a huge game changer to get fine motor control back like that. Oh man, I couldn't even imagine it though. Like it'd be trippy.
yeah. Even having like a little bit like of dexterity would be nice, but And she also THC goddess also said her AD is basically her third eye, and yeah, it really it's like your sensation, like
I love like how you put that because like that is my like inner eye too, dude. Like that's
uh,
so funny. Because we talked about it a lot on the show, but that's like one of my biggest communicators to my body is like even like light or mild AD. You know, like I can start to figure out what's going on, or it just allows me to anticipate the problem and not have a more significant issue. You know, like as uh, it just like you said, it gives you a little warning, which is super nice.
yeah,
So,
no, it
but
helps because like
AD isn't the enemy. Learn it. Pay attention to it because it's your body's communication system in light of not being able to give you the normal feelings. I didn't mean to cut you off, Sean. What'd you say?
no, that's pretty much what I was. Yeah, the same sentiment. I think I was just saying like yeah, not having any sensation it can be bad because if you have no warning signal, no anything that something is happening, something wrong until it's like severity, whatever, and your body's in shock and stuff, then that's not good. So
Also, she also has dysautonomia, and it affects her autonomic nervous system. And my blood pressure drops, and my heart goes way high. I was just sitting here last night, and it hit 163. That's a super high heart rate. Um, I get the same effect. I didn't know if it's dysautonomia. I don't know that term,
I
and
think it's
I don't
probably
want
very similar to the
me to speak out of
dysreflexia.
term, but that phenomenon, whatever it is called, happens to me all the time. And even in the morning, especially right after I transfer, on the days that I have like my nursing care, they'll take my vitals. At the end, right after I transfer, I get into my chair, and that's exactly my blood pressure will be like 80 over 40 and my heart rate will be like 90 and it's just really really weird, super low blood pressure, super high heart rate, and it makes me feel very lightheaded, which I always like attribute to the low blood pressure. But that's interesting to know, and I wonder if it's just a side effect of being quadriplegic. uh, Interesting to take note of though. Roy, I keep missing you guys. Well, you're here now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you made it
Uh,
for this one.
we appreciate you joining us. And Tisha, I know you said you missed the gaming stream the other night. It's all good. No worries. We're feeling well. The VOD is up, so you can still check it out if you feel so inclined. And yeah, we've been doing some gaming. So if you want to come and join in and get down on some gaming, we're going to be doing it again tomorrow night. It's been kind of fun, cool, relax, like chat, hang out. Lets me indulge one of my favorite hobbies. Blood pressure was 163, pulse was or 65 or 45. Yeah, no, that sounds really uh, intense. That's a very low
Yeah,
blood pressure.
that's
I
super
know
low.
that ladies generally have issues with lower blood pressure versus guys. Just make sure you're talking to your doctor and keeping track. Like I know that whenever I deal with blood pressure issues, um, shout out to my mama for teaching me this and doing it all my life. It's to just in a notebook, like when you take it every 30 minutes, like write it down and keep track. Keep track of like how long it's abnormal. You know, find out how long it takes for your body to like figure it out, and normalize, and all of that information will be super handy and helpful for your doctor, I think, when figuring out what to do. But blood pressure is super tricky. What do you do when your blood pressure is super low, Sean? Is there anything you do to like wake yourself back up, or is it just ride it out and do the
I
quad
do,
lead?
I do my leans. I do if it gets really bad, like I do them like a lot more. I mean, if I really need to get out, I can try to get out of the chair, into my couch or somewhere. Try to just get my head down. Um, yeah, dude, it depends. But it's that I typically run pretty low. Like I have a pretty steady low blood pressure, except for with the AD spikes. But like for the most part, I'm probably like 90 over, like that's like my 90 over like whatever 60 or so in that range for my
Yeah.
average. But last time I went and got mine, it was like 64 over 40. So right in the range of Nicole's too.
That's
Um,
insane. You're so tiny though, like you're so skinny. I wonder if that has like an effect.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, because I definitely
Don't
deal with it all the time, but it's
Yeah.
just, and I don't know. I'm too afraid to take anything like the what's it called, mitidrin or something like that. They have a
I don't know.
drug that's to bring your blood pressure back up. But I'm afraid to take that because I do get spikes throughout the day. Like I get AD from either being in the chair, my bladder, whatever it is. Like I get like some AD spikes, and I just don't want that to ever be too intense, and then like get into
Yeah.
dangerous levels. So
It's like you take it and then your AD spikes and it's like spikes super high.
yeah.
Don't mind the armchair doctor over here. Um, I'm I'm just I'm just musing. If anybody has any other topics that they want us to talk about too, um, we're just kind of freestyling today a little bit, celebrating Sean's Life Day. Our main guest canceled on us, so we're down to freestyle a little bit. If you guys have any topics that are been bugging you, any questions for us, you can ask Sean anything. He said before the show, you can ask. He'll answer any question about anything.
uh, roll with Kenneth that just had does anyone experience redness in your fingers? Um,
I
and
get like blotchiness on the palm of my hand. Like my hand will be all like blotchy red spots all over the palm. I don't know what causes it. That happens sometimes. Um,
yeah, I was gonna say I just get like especially in my right hand because I have just seem to have worse circulation over here, especially when it's cold. Like it will be sent like if I bump it or doing like I don't know, it seems more sensitive to things like, and it does get
yeah,
a little red from that. Like it, but I don't know. I don't have like blotches or anything like that.
yeah. What up,
So
Matthew? Thanks for joining us, dude. If anybody doesn't, I saw someone talking about like getting a blood pressure cuff. Uh, Super cheap on Amazon. When I say super cheap, relatively like 20, $30. Pretty cheap in terms of like medical devices, but get yourself a wrist blood pressure cuff. It's accessible for me and my quad hands, meaning I can do it alone. That being said, you know, if you can't get a wrist one, you have somebody around. That's okay if you require assistance. But it's really like one of the best things to have for a quad. I think it's super important for AD and then understanding like your blood pressure when it's low and stuff like that too. It's like both sides of the coin. We really it helps provide security and understanding for me, and I think good information for like our doctors and our caregiver team, whoever it is, to just know and be able to track it or just take it in the moment too. Can be very good. So get yourself a blood pressure cuff. If you know a blood pressure cuff company out there, tell them to sponsor us.
we'll take it.
Quad Life, thank you, man. I don't think we mentioned it last week, but Literal just reached 10,000 subscribers, people. 10,000, which is really awesome. Pew, 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 pew.
There
Yeah,
went.
dude, thank you. That was awesome.
Uh,
That's all thanks to you guys. We really appreciate you giving us so much love and support. We're really pushing for that 10,000 throughout the summer and stuff. Doing all this traveling and all this promotion. So having finally got there was really exciting. We actually got there live while I was streaming,
yeah,
doing
on
some,
the game. Yeah,
which which was super cool and really fun. Um, and yeah, make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Just that way, so you can be notified of our content. You can go ahead and hit that little notification bell, and it'll actually notify you, like send you a notification if you do want to be notified when we start new lives like this, when we go live every Tuesday, or for our other content throughout the week, or just when we upload new videos too. And yeah, Grandma. Velma's saying it. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't. Really appreciate it. It helps feed the algorithm. We're all trying to bow down to the algorithm, the great YouTube algorithm.
Yeah. But yeah, and even just hanging out with us in the chat and stuff helps us. So we appreciate all you guys, and we definitely couldn't have done the 10,000 without you. So uh,
10,000
let's.
subscribers end of January, first month of 2023. How's everyone feeling about it? I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a little rainy, but we got some sunshine in the later half of the month. And honestly, I'm really excited for 2023. I'm excited for Live to Roll 2023. Like, we're just like planning out our expos, getting that stuff figured out, and feeling healthy, feeling good. I did get a little sick right at the beginning of the year, but it was pretty mild, all things considered. I'm updated on my vaccines. I don't want to be that guy, but hey, I didn't really have to deal with much, and I think it's because I prepared well. Um,
Yeah,
but uh,
dude. Yeah, this
but
year we
yeah,
got to.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say this year we got to definitely keep up the travel and the having some, I don't know, cool live to roll trips and
And
stories because that was
Matt-
fun.
Matthew, we're not going to get to 20K by next year. We're going to get to 100K, bro. It's
We're
like going
going.
to be it's going to be a big year. This is exponential growth. It goes 10, 100, 1 million, and then 100 million. And then we'll be Mr. Beast.
Hey,
We'll
yeah.
be curing paralysis for YouTube likes.
Uh, he also said let's beat the Rolettes on Instagram. I'm down.
Um,
Don't tell them that. We're not trying to get into a war, but
when's the 10K
oh, and
party?
thank you. Holy shit! I just noticed your mom. What the hell, dude? Alice, thank you.
Oh,
That
mama.
I literally thought that said 4.99, but that's too much.
49.99. Love you, Mama. Thank you so much for all your love and support. We really appreciate it. Our Live Troll family. Love you guys so much for all the support you guys give. And that's shout out our mama, but also shout out Velma and Donna and my dad and my sister M and every dude. All
Brianna
the
and the Wheeler family. They're not really Wheelers, but the
Cage and Chris and the whole fam.
yeah.
Shout out the Fluke Bros too for coming through.
Yeah, we've had a lot of help from family and stuff. It'll be a good year again. So, and
That's where we're
Raymond,
throwing the 10K
thanks for
party.
hanging out. My buddy Raymond's in here too. He said when's the 10K party. I don't know, bro. Let's we'll do
No, we're doing it
something.
at the Abilities Expo.
Or yeah,
Uh,
maybe at the Abilities Expo in March, man. That gives you
that's
some time to recover because my buddy also is having some health issues. Yeah,
Yay.
so many people right now dealing with stuff, man. Like it's crazy. Uh,
Here's like my message to everybody: no more hospital. I don't care
no
if you
more.
need. Just don't go. No, I'm just kidding. Go to the hospital if you need to. But just so many people I know are in the hospital, and oh, it's so hard to hear about, and it's like tough. I feel for you guys, sending like all my thoughts and positive energy, prayers your guys' way, but nobody else. Just take care of yourselves, stay healthy, stay out of the hospital. Um, shout out our guest who's supposed to be on today too. I know he's dealing with some stuff in the hospital, so really hope you get better soon, and really excited to have you back on when we can rearrange it. And yeah, March Expo is the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Thank you, Velma, for that information. I was just going to ask Sean, but we have our
Yeah.
awesome people in the chat.
So it's actually
Um,
coming up in like 5 weeks now, I think, or like yeah, it's coming up pretty quick. So um, yeah, come on out. It's gonna be fun if you're in the LA area or plan a trip out. We'll be there all weekend. Come stay. There's stuff going on every night. Friday, Saturday night. It's good times.
don't forget to take your Demonos.
And yeah, Demonos, that is a good
it's
one for bladder. I take Demonos every night. So
it's
one
an
of
important
the
supplement that can help. keep your bladder pH healthy and keep that bacteria out of there. If anybody's wondering what demonos is, um, but what up, Walter? How's it going, man? Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to hang out with the Triumph Foundation at the Abilities Expo. Shout out the Triumph Foundation.
Hey, but one quick thing on Julian, and maybe it's my fault because I asked where our location is, but Walter, they put some other YouTube po- podcaster next to Triumph. They might have done that because they knew both of our crowds were going to be too big and it would have been overwhelming for the convention center. But, they had to separate us, I guess. So
Ooh,
we're.
we want to be next to the Triumph fam. It's all right.
I
We're
know,
gonna
dude. We want to throw the super party with Triumph and Live to Roll
we're
and
gonna
that.
talk behind the scenes and figure out what we're gonna do. And when do y'all come to Chicago? What are the dates for Chicago this year, Sean? Do you know that off the
Chicago
top?
is June, I think 25th, 6th, and 7th, I want to say. Um, or it's the end of June, and we are coming. Chicago's the one we are going to for sure do. Um, I don't think we're going to be able to do Houston this year, unfortunately. Just financially, we just don't have the money. And since we have the twins in Chicago, we're going there because we really want to see them and visit Nikki and
Yeah.
Ashley out there. So,
We love the Houston fam and we love the Houston vibes.
yeah,
So
dude, we did really enjoyed
might
it.
come through later in the year. If we can get the trip sponsored or something, we might
We
be able to
are
work.
the thing I'm looking into, since we're not going to probably be able to do Houston, we may, depending if we get funding towards the end of the year, we might be able to swing Dallas in the beginning of December, so we can still get to Texas. Texas,
Okay.
y'all.
I I would like that. I would like to like see a different part of Texas. Like Houston was cool, but Texas is big. Um,
Yeah.
and
Walter's coming to Chicago. He says.
any of us in Arkansas, I no, we're from
I don't think they
California.
have. I think your nearest one to Arkansas probably would be one of the Texas ones.
Shout out Arkansas family though. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, for sure.
My
Um,
favorite NASCAR driver, Mark Martin's from Arkansas.
yeah, dude. I wish
And we will
they
get
were able to
Phoenix.
have the. And then, oh, Roy just asked if we're going to Phoenix. Phoenix is the third one that we are pretty much for sure going to this year because that's close enough for us to drive, and that's just saves so much on the air travel for us trying to get
And
places.
yeah, THC said Chicago's the 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, perfect.
So Chicago, get excited for that. Let's get back on the train, Tom. Maybe to like Northern California for like a short little trip.
I know.
But
I'm
I don't want to.
down. Tom, I'm down. We can take a train trip up to visit Kyle in Santa Barbara. That's
Yeah,
like a 3 or 4 hour ride.
all right,
Boom,
bro.
down with that one. 20, the 40-hour ride?
I'll
Nah.
take the metro out to the house and the fam, but no more 2 day train trips. Um,
uh,
I mean, maybe if I was like in a sleep car and I had like a little bed and like I had a better view, maybe. And yeah, we super excited for Phoenix. Phoenix was really fun for us this last year.
yeah, all of them were fun. Honestly, like I would love to run back all four again and even throw in some more. We just can't afford it, like to be, because right now we're,
Catholic super hard for a bunch of crips.
yeah, and
I
that's what
want to
just
do
makes it
more
so
of it.
hard. So.
It's freaking hard. Uh, I'm excited to like fly again though, but like with more ABs. Like Cage, I love you. I love the boys trip, but I'm like excited to do that like with some family support.
Yeah, no, I feel you, dude. Then that was a wild trip just with me, you, and Cage, and then meeting up with Bentley out there. But like for a lot of that travel, it was just the three of us, and like it was tough, dude. Like,
I'll never forget that trip though. That'll like live in my memory forever. That was like still like one of the coolest things I've ever done. And Terry, I'm
uh,
down to come a little further north. I'm from the Bay, and I wanted to take the train up to Seattle, TBH, to
that's a
I guess.
longer trip, but
Yeah, it's
that's
18
probably the
hours.
longest I would ever. even be willing to like think about.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a couple, like a good buddy that lives up there. Like he literally just sent me, he's like, I live 5 minutes away from an accessible beach. Like, you gotta come. I was like, oh shit, I gotta plan it now. What up, Angry Quad in the building? Thank you so much for stopping by. And we're just
So,
chilling,
bro,
celebrating Sean's 19-year cripple anniversary. Hope that word's not too offensive to anybody out there. Um, Life Day, okay? I try to
I
keep it
know
PG the whole
that
time.
is the more PC way, but that's what in rugby and like a lot of that for years they've always referred to it as the crippleversary.
Hey, I'm talking to the Angry Quad. Like we're the boys. We gotta, it's okay. Sometimes
uh,
the walls can come down.
Walter had a kind of more official question for us on travel here about Spirit Airlines being cheap and they allow one bag to carry. And I don't think any ADA law applies to the aviation stuff. They're pretty much private companies, I believe, and the FAA has their own like regulations and whatnot. So yeah, because I know for one of our trips for Chicago, I think Brianna and Cage flew Spirit, and from their accounts, it was a pretty rough travel trip. And they basically both brought very small bags because like otherwise they were going to be charged a bunch extra. Um,
Yeah,
so
Sean said it. The FAA, it's a Wild West. Like they have their own laws, their own rules, and they don't really care about you being in a wheelchair or your accommodations. I think even with Spirit, you could probably check with the airline ahead, let them know that you maybe have an extra bag for medical supplies, and they
they
couldn't
might,
tell you no. But my mom says do not fly Spirit. All of my, like all the stories that I've heard from Spirit is do not fly Spirit unless I don't know, like it's economical. What if that's all you can afford? Shit, I said go for it. It is what it is. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a good time. Take pictures
see.
of your wheelchair before you take off and after to make sure they didn't fuck your shit up.
Yeah, there
But
you go. And that's the other, so like that's one of the reasons why like all the airlines have different I think benefits or and like drawbacks for sure. There's pros and cons to it all. But like Southwest, they have some. They just did a major screw up in the news recently. But for the most part, I've had a great experience, and using them this last year to travel saved us money on getting my merchandise. Like to each of the expos because we basically loaded extra luggage with our merch and different stuff for the booth and just had
all they
Southwest fly it because
yeah.
they do 2 bags for free plus any medical bags for free. So I have my shower chair and like wheel bag and different stuff. We were shoving stuff into everything.
Um, we
So
had so much
like
luggage. It was crazy.
so much luggage.
I had one bag, dude. I had everything in one duffel. Like that's why I wanted to travel was like one duffel. But yeah, it was tough. It's so hard as a quad to like not like travel with a bunch of shit, and like especially in your case, Sean, like the shower chair is like oh like luggage suitcase thing just by
Yeah,
itself.
by itself,
Uh,
it's in its
yeah.
own. So yeah, traveling with that. And that's why any airline that's not going to deem that medical and let it fly for free, that's going to be that's tough.
And Quad Trials in Theory said, first of all, what up? Thank you for joining us. I flown Spirit in 2014 to Vegas. Was a good experience. So they're notorious for being an economical airline and not having the same kind of service or services that you might find in like United or Delta. Southwest is still, I think, considered pretty economical, but they're kind of the in between. That being said, they operate. They uh, you must have some good flights and good experiences. Like it can't all be bad. I say if you show up with a positive attitude, Walter, and like your normal happy disposition, and you just go for it, I think they'll take care of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can probably get a lot done if you just talk to the right people and schmooze your way through it, maybe. But yeah, there's just I think it's luck of the draw, possibly.
Flying, I don't know. Like I have mixed feelings about it. after my
Yeah, because last
experience.
year was your first flight. So those are your, I mean, your first. Yeah, so that was your first time when we went to Houston, and that was not the easiest. That was like even for my experiences of other travel on different flights, like that was not one of the easiest. That was not for sure. We had quite a few little issues and mishaps. Construction at the airports, which also like factored into extra just crap. Like so,
And that's like
yeah.
part of traveling too, especially like I think in our situation is you have to be prepared for you know, the unknown because some things are gonna happen and it's gonna be difficult or impossible to, it's just like an obstacle you're gonna have to figure out, whether that's like delays or, like wheelchair, like lift issues, wheelchair issues and stuff. I really did, like, for the most part, enjoy a good chunk of the experience, except for when I was like having really bad AD. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just like nothing you can do. There's even the flight attendants like, oh, sorry, like you just gotta endure it. Like it's just tough. Like I wish that there was more nuance, like something that they could do different to better accommodate you, while you're on the flight, even getting on and off the flight. Like it just seems like they could do simple things to make it better. But again, these are conversations we've had time and time again. Um,
Yeah,
what?
and that's
Uh, Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and that's just part of it. I think like you're, I think there's a lot of great staff for probably all the airlines, but like that will help out, be friendly, make sure they try to take care of you, accommodate everything, but they're like few and far between a lot of the crappier staff that works for a lot of these
Yeah.
things, and then a lot like they don't care enough to even like see if they can do something for you to help you, whatever. Like, so I don't know. That's why I said luck of the draw, man. You just gotta hope you get
At the end of the day,
the
too,
right.
like they're kind of playing devil's advocate because they got to be the bad guy. They got to tell you the rules. Like one
That's
of the
no, yeah.
things, like it was a little thing. Like I wanted to keep my tray table down because it gave me something to hold on to when we landed because I wasn't secure with like the plane landing. Like it kept throwing me out of my seat or throwing me forward. And on several like different flights, the flight attendant had to like mid landing like get up out of their harness and like assist me because I was like falling out of the chair or like
Oh,
I'm
like Cage
falling
was
really
fully up. Like,
forward.
yeah,
Yeah, and like my solution was just if I had the tray table down, I could have something to hold myself against and have full support of like my trunk. But it's literally against the law. Like it's against FAA
it's
regulations
to
to
get
have your tray table
federal. Yeah,
because in the instance that the landing didn't go right or I begged against it and it hurt me, they'd be liable. And I understand it, but like in the moment I did it, or in the moment I was just I felt very uncomfortable, very unsafe. And I had like a solution that felt very simple to me, but yet I couldn't do it. I couldn't use it. I still had to, like uh, almost fall out of my chair. Thankfully, Cage was there. Cage saved the day. We would have
dude,
been
Cage
lost
was a
without.
lifesaver for sure on that trip. Like, without
Uh,
that dude, we would have been in some trouble, man. Like, and initially, that's what's crazy, dude. Like, I don't know what exactly I believe, and we don't. I'm definitely not going to get into that right now near the end of the show on all getting into like spiritual beliefs and stuff. But man, something was watching out for us for that weekend, dude. Because so many things like that came together last minute. Like we were about to be traveling, me and you solo, and probably completely fucked on that trip. And then other stuff like, dude, like the taxi company completely screwing us. But then like somehow lucking into an Uber that was like 5 minutes away and able to pick us up in time and make our flights and stuff like that. Like that was just wild, dude. But it like crazy, man. I don't even know, dude. That weekend, it was awesome. Like that was honestly one of the funner trips. Like it was a hell of an adventure, but it was just like it was
yeah,
cool. So
I mean, I think that's why you got to go with the flow. Things often like will work out in ways that you can't necessarily even foresee, especially if you can keep the positive vibes going, which we did for the most part to the very end, where I was like yelling at the airport attendant walking me through the airport. Um, but hey, man, I had some serious AD. I was pretty uncomfortable. It felt a little wild. Uh,
By that time, dude, your body was, I'm sure, so tired, hurting, the AD. It was just
just like,
like 5 days of travel, like second flight of the day. It was
yeah.
rough.
Well, the angry quote said it's like doctors don't know what AD is, let alone like a flight attendant. Like I was literally waiting for my chair for almost an hour after the flight had already landed and they deboarded everybody, and I was in this tight little seat, full on muscle spasms, full AD, like breathing really heavily, really fast, like just in a really visibly uncomfortable state. And the guy was like he kept asking me like, "Are you okay?" And I was trying to be like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but then I was like, "No, I'm not
I
okay."
know. I
And,
remember
and
that like moment.
like, well, do you want us to call an ambulance? It's like, no, motherfucker. I want you to give me my wheelchair and get me into a comfortable situation. And I'm sorry for swearing like that. I didn't call the guy that in the moment. But I but I was thinking it, and it just was like I don't need you even to understand AD. I also don't need you to like, threaten to call an ambulance. So that's kind of what it felt like. It was like a threat. It's like, well, sure, we can take care of you. We can call an ambulance and like have you wait 30 minutes for, an EMT to show up and not have any idea what the, fuck to do or what's going on. When there's just a simple
Uh,
solution, like get me my wheelchair. But water under the bridge. It is what it is.
Hopefully, our Chicago travel, because I think that'll be our one main trip and travel for this one, won't be as rough. But we have a lot of logistics to figure out for that because I really want to make sure we get at least a couple nights in the city of Chicago in downtown, not
Yeah.
just in the Schaumburg suburbs of Chicago.
And
Um,
also, like, having done it once, like, I know now, like, it's hard to know never having flown before, even going with Shawn and, like, his experience and, like, trying to plan for everything. Like, there's no learning, like, living it and going through it. So I'm a lot more confident moving forward, like flying again, especially like if I bring like mom and M or just one of them
yeah.
with me to like help me out a little bit more, especially like sit next to me or whatever on the plane, like just things that it's impossible to have that kind of foreknowledge without really experiencing it. So just going through the experience like gave me a lot to build off of, to like it wasn't all positive, but now I know how to like avoid those less positive experiences. Take an edible before I hop on the plane, relax
I'm
my
telling you,
spasm
bro, that helps
out.
me so much because I get crazy levels of AD too. My spasms get off the fucking wall, and I'm like kicking the crap out of the wall, trying to come out of the chair like the whole freaking time. And yeah, dude, the AD's going, and when I take an edible, that all like it doesn't go away 100%, but it's like manageable. It's like it levels everything down. My spasticity is like, all right, I got a few little spasms. I'm okay. I'm gonna kick the wall a couple times. No big deal. But like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, yeah, that because that's one thing I've learned, and now I like almost every flight try to make sure I'm gonna take an edible before, just because like I just know my body and um,
Here's a simple solution. Anybody, I think, with our level of disability, put in first class, baby. Hey, give us that big luxury, comfy chair.
hey, if you
It's
got the money to do it and fly one of the
Make
nicer
sure you
airlines that
allow
has first
us to
class,
just fly comfortably for the same cost as everybody else
that would
and
be
just
nice.
eat it,
But
dude. Take the L. Like, it's not even filled up majority of the time anyway. Sorry, I'm
oh.
just on a rant now. I'm gonna be pulled back. Gosh damn
uh,
the man. Why doesn't he just accommodate us? Why can't everything just be better?
um, your mom said something about renting a van, and the THC guys asked how much a van rental is. When I looked it up in Chicago, because I had thought about that for getting us around when we were there, I think it was like $100 a day plus mileage and stuff for an accessible van. Um,
Yeah, I had a couple
so
buddies
kind of
um, for my birthday a couple years ago. They rented a van for like a night. so we could all go out and drive together. And I think it was like a buck 35 or something.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
probably about right.
So yeah, it's just like a day and a night. So you're probably looking at around 100, between 100 and 150
Like
a
I was
day.
just thinking that'd be cool for one of us the nights, like especially when we were in Chicago, we had so many of us that were all stuck at the hotel, like right in that area. Like, but it's
Yeah.
cool. This time, maybe we will do that, but we won't do it till we're in Chicago, like, and we can all go out. But I think once we're in the city, we won't need to have that. Well, it's like LA. There's probably stuff hopefully around we can like go to, but we'll see. Uh,
Ken says,
uh,
I have trouble transferring after eating edibles. Dosing appropriately is definitely important. Understand. You gotta time it right too. Eat the edible, transfer real quick before it kicks in, so you're in bed, and then you can just chill out.
well, I think he's talking about for travel and stuff. So
No,
yeah, he maybe can't get on the plane.
I'm just teasing.
Bro, just make them do the two-person like transfer, man. Just have them be or help you, whatever. But dude,
The future, more stoned the better, because they do everything. They wrap you up, two people lift you. I don't gotta do shit, so I'm gonna just like really be vibro and just like, hey, carry me, we're good.
yeah, dude. That's what I realized on the last couple of flights we were doing. Southwest is actually upgrading a lot of their planes, and their newer planes. I can kind of get into the one seat, but I can't get back out because the little side guards go all the way down to the seat, and they're solid and they do not move. Like, and it's just a narrow area, and I can't get out of it on my own. I don't have the angle to transfer. So I was able to transfer into those, and I just would back my chair in right to like next to it, and I had them like two-person lift me, one under my arms, one under my knees, and just like go sideways over into my chair and like plop me back in the chair, and I was out. So,
Yeah,
um,
honestly, my transfers weren't too bad. Like it was just
see, Tom, you had
I
a much harder time because, like, for me in the Southwest chair or Southwest plane with my chair, I can roll into like that front row, and I can even get the chair pretty close, like right next to the front row, because I have a narrow chair. But you had to use the damn aisle chair every time, and the aisle chair sucks ass. Like I'm not even like like there's nothing good about that shit. So it just
THC. I recommend googling accessible vans in your local area. I guarantee, like it may not be local, like the place that rents vans for me, even in LA, is like an hour away. So there may be some traveling to get to the rental company, but I'm pretty sure they've got to be quite populous depending on where you live. Um,
yeah. I think if you're in any like metropolitan area, they should have something or near.
and Eric, thank you for that. Broadability is definitely a good, reputable company um, that do rentals. I don't know the company out here in LA. Isn't it Mobility something?
There's a couple. The Mobility Works is I think a national. They're big.
Mobility Works, yeah. That's like the
Um,
one that we've used out here.
yeah, they're national. I think so. They are. I think on the East Coast as well. I think Mobility Works is a national brand.
Yeah. And if we're speaking out of turn, sorry. Um, but Google will
Yeah.
tell you. I promise that.
Hey, if they want to sponsor us, we'll get it. We will get it on lock, and we will not mess that up.
Sean needs a brand new van, by the way. I don't drive, but I'll take one too.
Yeah, dude. I'll take that. Uh, but yeah, that's what Eric said. Mobility Works was the one he talked to you before too. And yeah, they're big. And then there's another one too. Out here in the West Coast, they're Ability Center, but on the East Coast, I think they're like United Access or something like that. It's a different, but it's the same company. So they're basically two national van companies that
Is
exist.
there
For,
like a transportation service on the East Coast? Like not to like rent a vehicle, but like to arrange like transportation, like medical transport. Like here in Southern California, we have Access, which is like a next day service. You can like arrange like a van to come and pick you up and take you anywhere like within LA County. Um, but that's only local to LA. I know that they have like similar programs in Arizona and different parts of California too. But oh, yeah, if you're in Philadelphia, they have to. I
They should
can't
have
imagine.
something in
I
Philly,
don't want
yeah.
to like speak out of turn, but like my gut tells me that there's definitely stuff like that. If anybody hasn't looked into transportation services and you find like transportation an issue, like Google's your friend in this instance. It's something that's like really changed dramatically in the last decade in terms of like providing reasonable access to transportation for individuals, even in power wheelchairs, and don't have the ability to transfer and stuff. That is less like so in like rural areas. It's just the way it is. But if you're close to like a metropolitan area, like Philadelphia, Los Angeles, like a bigger city, um, that they're I'm pretty sure um, they have services similar to what I'm speaking on. Matthew, it's called Pace, and Uber Access works fairly well here in Chicago and New York City. Good to know. Shout out Uber, dude. I've also not had some success with Uber since I've like given it rave reviews. I tried to take it last time to like Six Flags, Magic Mountain, and I couldn't get an Uber.
No.
I was waiting for a couple hours now. But that being said, I have been met with success several times. A couple times with my buddies, it felt super cool to just like order an Uber and we like could all go out together and then get an Uber back home. But the couple times I've had trouble getting an Uber now has kind of given me some pause. Like I don't want to fully rely on it.
See, that's what
Um,
when I was first trying it, it would not work for me. And that's why when we were in Houston and it just popped up and it was like, yeah, 5 minutes away, wheelchair accessible van. Like that blew my mind. Like I was like, oh my god. And I honestly
well,
haven't tried it since, so I don't know. But I know you had a few good experiences, and then I guess now not as many. But yeah. I think
um,
like that's probably same hit or miss, dude. You got to get lucky that the van's in your area, like a dude's working with a. Um, I know in the Houston area, the lady said that we were in like that. There's kind of like a medical center right there because we were in the Houston medical area, and so they had a lot. Like they had quite a few wheelchair accessible vans because they did different patient. They helped out with getting people to appointments and stuff like that and
yeah, this
whatever.
is all
So
like hearsay too. I spoke to
yeah,
one of the Uber drivers who was like driving the wheelchair vehicle, and they said that they were contracted by Uber because of a lack of accessible vehicles in like populous areas. They were sued, and I guess they got like mandated to provide better accessible solution for people because they advertised it on the app. Yet anytime anybody went to use it, it wasn't available. So it wasn't meaningful. It was like false advertisement, basically. But or they were just breaking what they said they were agreeing to, which was like provide accessible transportation too. I mean, just don't include it if it's not a thing. But they were held accountable, and to my knowledge, at least, they are still held accountable. So the more populous areas, you are likely to be met with more success versus the rural ones, because I think it's just impossible to have, drivers everywhere all the time.
yeah.
But they're working on doing a better job. So it might be a solution. And Walter says, hit up those van companies. We have a voucher for a free weekend rental. I don't know what van companies you're talking about. If you're talking about Butterfly, I don't want to throw any shade, but I'm going to throw a little shade. That service is not a viable solution for anybody in a wheelchair. I'm trying
I
to
think
use
they
it
have a
several
van
times.
rental, a free weekend rental through
Oh, okay.
um, one of the, or actually, I think it's through Ability Center. But I want to say Walter. I remember him saying that it was for a day or 2 day rental, but not on the weekend. I want to. I kind of remember mentioning that at one of the Christmas parties, the Long Beach one, because I remember them like raffling off. That was one of the things. Like was a van rental, free van rental. Um,
I
but
believe you said they also have different limits. Like in New York, there's no restriction in location for paratransit, like anywhere in New York. Dang, that sounds sick. I want to like do like a long day trip across New York with their paratransit service.
yeah, that sounds cool.
As long as it doesn't have 15 shared rides. Um, yeah, the like metro, like local transit here in Los Angeles, we have like bus and then we have the train too, like the red line and the purple line and the blue line to get to like different parts. Um, I don't know. I used to love metro. I still do. Like part of my heart will always love metro. After I don't know if this like had anything to do with it, but after COVID, um, like the service kind of coming back, like they're just really gross. Like everything smells like pee. Everything's really
That
dirty.
sucks.
The elevators, like on the red line, are always broken. So I can never like I'll be stuck at the station underground and have to go down to like the next stop and roll back a couple blocks. It's just a nightmare every time. And I don't know what happened. Like it's yeah, it's just gross. So I don't use it as much. Like I've been relying more on access. I would still want to use it more, and I still do use it sometimes because I like it. I do enjoy it. I think it's like a great way to get around. Like huge support of public transportation. I just wish everything wasn't covered in pee. And yeah, it was not always like broken elevators and accessibility issues in that regard. Which I know, like New York
That does
subway,
suck.
like they struggle with elevators too, um, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. But that sucks with public transportation stuff. Ken mentioned
Uh,
thinking about Ubering again, but using his van. And I didn't even think about that because I that crossed my mind. I was like, I could maybe Uber as my van, like some side cash on the weekends or something. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to lock down a chair if they need to be locked down on their own. If it was just somebody coming, one disabled person and me, like I'm not locking that chair down.
hey, Caleb drives me around all the time. I don't have my chair down.
Hey, I know that's what I'm saying. I've driven a bunch of people around without doing that. I take Jesus to rugby practice now on
You drive me
Sundays.
around all the time without locking my chair down, bro.
Does
Like
Access
literally,
do it?
no. They, of course, they'd tie me down. They'd like tie me into my chair, dude. They like
But
tie me
when
up.
you took the Uber rides, did they do it?
Yeah,
They did.
Uh,
Okay, fuck it. Yeah,
that's part of it. I think like there's certain liability
I'm
surrounding it.
sure
I'm
there's
not like
liability. Yeah,
advocating that, like the times that me and Sean do it, or like my girlfriend, she has a van, and like we drive around together a lot.
dude, I've driven
Um,
in the back of vans so many times, and I'm in a manual chair, like flying around back there.
it's probably against the law, TBH. Sorry, mom and dad. No.
Well, this is all
Like
alleged.
it's
Allegedly, I
all
did that.
alleged. I mean, let's just like be real. I'm knocking on some wood. Stay away, fairies that cause bad stuff. Uh, in the event of an accident, like it would definitely be unsafe.
Oh, it would be
Like
bad to be in an accident like that for
anxiety.
sure. Not going to be
So
good. But to be
that's
the way I think about it, if you have my chair strapped down, I don't have a seatbelt on my chair. Like I'm gonna launch out anyways. Like yeah, I'm sure my chair will stay in there. That's sweet, bro. Chair's on the floor. I'm not.
yeah,
Like I'm not in
99%
that
of
thing.
the time that like I have done it, or like I'll like drive with you and stuff. It's 15 minutes across town. It's like short distances just locally. Like that's
See,
how us squads got to do it. Well, I've been trying
and
to
I'm
like
used
problem
to.
solve it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I'm used to that, like those shorter drives. It's the long ones that scare me. And like right now, every Sunday, I've been taking my buddy Jesus to rugby practice because he lives out here and he has to take access if he comes, and it's across county. So it's like a 4 hour mission if you like each direction. Like it's
Yeah.
stupid. So he just gets dropped off at my house, and then I take him to practice. But it's close to an hour. He's sitting in the back, not strapped in, not seat belted. Like
Yeah. Hey, bro, I've been on some
I
trips
drive
too.
safe.
Uh, I am trying to figure out like a solution. There are like locations for straps, and with a grabber, I could hook a strap onto my chair. Tightening it down would be like a different story. Um, I don't know. Something to consider after the pod on a different day. I'm not going to stop getting around the way that I do now, just because I refuse to limit those freedoms. Like I feel like the way we operate, get around is as safe as we can do it. Um, but hey, it is
I
what
feel
it
like you
is.
can't live your life in a bubble, man. Like where I already got hurt once. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm just gonna take my chances, dude.
The
Cause
guy that did our van modification on like my first family van, he was a quad and he died in a car accident driving in between like NorCal and SoCal. So lightning can't strike twice, people. Like, don't throw caution to the wind and be like, I'm invincible.
oh no, I'm not thinking that. I'm just saying like I'm willing to take the risks at this point. Like I'll try to be safe, drive cautiously. Take
Well,
what precautions I can, but
you're still gonna pick me up at Casa and drive me to your place in Rancho for like we're not gonna stop doing that. And I also don't think
yeah,
we're gonna
bro.
stop tying my chair down, like hey, it is what it is. Like I do access and like the bus, but they don't strap me down on the bus.
So
I
yeah,
drive on the
exactly
bus.
on the
I drive it in my
bus.
They don't strap me down. They ask me if I want to be secured, so they're willing to do it if I request it. But I always like deny because I don't know. It's like local. I've like slipped and slide a little bit, like if the bus like goes hard on their brakes. But I've never just like scooted more than a couple of inches and not be able to like correct myself like pretty immediately.
Yeah. Um, yeah, TXT got us said she doesn't like to use the seat belts that they have, a little belt to keep you from coming out. But yeah, no, and so I hold on to the passenger seat when I do it. Like when or AC, I'll put my arm around the armrest or back on
You're
something. So I
you're
just
in your manual chair, man. Like it's so lightweight. Like I feel like
oh
you're.
I move around, and I've even years ago I was in the back for a quick ride, and it was when my little anti-tip bars, one of them was gone, and the other one it was just kind of like in a knot. It was just was I don't know whatever happened. I tipped back, and because I lost my grip of the seat, tipped back onto the bars, but the one was missing, and my weight was like going towards that way, and it ended up still flipping me over in the van, and I was like on my back. My buddy Frenchie was actually driving. I was like, I just like look. I was like, "Yo, Frenchie," and he looked back. It's like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just pull over up here. We got it."
I
uh,
mean, I've been in like even my family van before, tied down, and like took a turn and my chair like flipped over in the van and stuff. Like,
actually, me and another dude Lee on like a bus van thing coming from a rugby trip transport from a hotel or from the gym to the hotel. The dude whipped it around a turn and both of our chairs went over sideways. We both flipped sideways like and onto the floor, but there was enough ABs in there to where like and I stayed like in my chair and on the like sideways and then just got like set back upright. But like yeah, it gets wild, man.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I've been doing this my whole life. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. Like, we've loaded my chair up in the van and like just put on two straps, which in reality probably wouldn't do shit without like all the four actual tie downs and stuff. It's like, hey, it'll be all right. We're just going across town to school. We're just going back home. Like it is what it is. Like I think, uh, if I did feel unsafe or secure, like it's like not secure in the situation, I would communicate it, like immediately, and make sure I felt secure and safe. I hope I'm not sounding like too crazy or cavalier about safety in these instances because I'm not. It's like something I think about like every time I get into a vehicle and stuff. But I think it is very important to like consider and be aware of possibilities. But hey, I think anybody driving is like taking on some risk. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Motor vehicles are
Um,
not the
and
same.
I just want to, since we are getting kind of near the end here, let's go ahead and maybe thank our sponsors. Uh, we'll do the quick little video here for mobility professionals. But I just want to thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals, because without their help, we would not be able to continue doing this and definitely not be able to do expos. That is for sure.
Yeah, we
To grab the door. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Mobility Professionals is a medical supply company that services the Southern California area. They can help you out with custom wheelchairs, scooters, durable medical equipment, standers, any kind of commode or bathroom equipment, and they also do a lot of technical repair. They have an amazing staff that provides incredible customer service. They will take care of everything for you, for the insurance, doctors, therapists, and all that stuff that just makes your life so much more complicated. They're here to simplify and make things easy. Not only that, but they're also highly active in the local community. They're at a lot of disability events, volunteering, and servicing the community that we all love. All right, yeah, so thank you. And then their sister company is Urology Professionals, and they are a nationwide company. If you're looking for urological supplies, having any problems getting your catheters, give them a call. They will take care of it. They will help you out with the insurance, switching over, all that stuff. And they're just really good people. They support the community locally here. Great company, and we are very appreciative of them.
Yes, go check them out if you're local in the SoCal area and need a wheelchair anywhere in the nation and in need of catheter supplies. They really are awesome and will help you out. So also let them know Live Troll sent you, because they'll know these sponsors are worth it, which they definitely
Yeah.
are. Um, but happy Life Day, Shawn. I'll tell you what, man. Super happy you got injured 19 years ago, because not just kidding. But I'm happy you're such a cool, badass, amazing dude, and super grateful and thankful to be a part of Live to Roll, man. Like that is like one of the things I'd be real bummed to have missed out on if you know things had turned out differently. Just super happy we're here doing Live to Roll, bro, and super happy and grateful and thankful to be your friend, dude. You're an awesome guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude, and definitely appreciate you and everything. Yeah, you've been doing and helping with this, and yeah, man, it's been a fun ride. So let's keep rolling.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if you guys want to share social medias and stuff, maybe not like WhatsApp or Telegram, at least not in the chat. I don't think that's super safe. There's creepy people out there. So be mindful of your.
Well, if you do put it in the chat, I won't put it on the screen, so only people watching live would be able to see it. but still, but I get that.
Yeah, we
and I think,
love you, Shawn.
yeah,
Shout
thank
out
you,
my
Alice. I appreciate you. Appreciate the Conway family. You guys are awesome. So, yeah.
And is
Damn,
there anything
man.
else you want to cover for the end of the show, man? Anything?
Um,
Let me ask you this question. I ask everybody at the end of the show. For anybody, maybe facing this early on in their injury and stuff, just in general, you got any like general advice, any life advice for any other wheelchair users out there?
um,
Having
dude,
lived in it for 19 years, being a pro.
I know I've said this like a bunch of times, I think, on the channel. It's kind of like sort of one of the themes of Live to Roll, but finding the community, like the disabled community and like friends and stuff in it, and like just making these connections, like I feel like that's so important. and like really will help just at least benefit your mental health. You know, like especially if you are struggling and you know dealing with some stuff, like for sure, like just having that community, that friend, like dude, like me and Tom, even like you know, like if we're having a tough time, whatever. Like I know I can hit him up and be like, dude, like whatever before the show, like dude, I'm not feeling great today. Like, whatever, we talk it out. Like it's just I don't know. You got it's so important to have that and have those people and stuff. Um, and yeah, that's just the one thing I feel like really is super important. Um, and yeah, that's what I hope everybody wants to continue being part of this little community here we're trying to build. And like, if you don't have anybody local to talk to, that's what you know we're here for. You know, reach out to us or others in the chat. Like it's all you know, it's all love here. So and
Exactly.
THC Goddess said yeah, the gamers tomorrow. Tom will be gaming tomorrow, so check that out. And I actually wasn't even on much last week either because I was driving out to Orange County during a lot of his trips, so I was on the road, and then eating dinner for a little bit of it. But I tried to pop in, so this week I'll be here, be hanging out in the chat if you guys want to come.
Yeah, we got a fun stream planned out for you guys. Getting the logistics of the streaming down. I just want to take a second. That was great advice, Shawn. I thought it was super awesome. Yes, come and find your community. It doesn't have to be the Live Troll fam. You know, find that local community too. It is life changing. To I don't know, just I really echo like what Shawn said. Like it's really nice to just be able to like call up a homie and like vent a little bit. Like how much that like kind of makes you feel better, or makes me feel better at least. Like just like saying some of the stuff aloud that's like you know struggling with or having a hard time with. Very very nice. Very mentally like it's like I feel grateful. It's like a good mental health thing for me. It like helps me feel a lot better, like mentally and stuff. Even if like the physical stuff doesn't change right away, you know, just having someone to be able to talk to and vent for sure. And yeah, super excited to stream some games tomorrow. Thanks for indulging me in my fun little side hobby, you guys.
Yeah, we
But
got the gaming streams are fun, man. The long just
fun,
hang
man.
out, just
Yeah,
chill.
just shoot the shit, hang out, talk to you guys, hang out in the chat and stuff. I've been really enjoying it, and it's been a lot
It's
of
too
fun.
bad.
So,
I feel like we can't really do much of that. That one game you were playing because of the Justin Roland thing, but that game was so entertaining to watch.
I,
I'm sorry, but it was so funny and so
there's
entertaining.
already people.
The High on Life game.
Don't be mean to ladies, all men out there.
I know, dude.
Respect.
Jeez,
Don't get
people
canceled by
like.
society. You'd be shitty people. That does suck. But yeah, no, we aren't going to be streaming any more High on Life. And yeah,
But
unfortunately.
anyway, we got
We
Tom's
got
got
some
other
cool
good games.
I've been really trying to like focus on accessible gaming. I do want to kind of highlight. I don't use a lot of adaptive tools to game. I just don't require them. I do some modifications and stuff, like kind of like my PC and my custom setup. But I do want to talk about a lot of like more like accessibility features and stuff that can be used on the software side that are like implemented in games that I think a lot of people don't realize and utilize. But honestly, it's kind of a space to really hang out with you guys, talk more. Like all like stream for 3 or 4 hours. It's a little bit more relaxed. There's no no guests or anything. It's just us hanging and talking. So if you just want to come and hang out, gaming's not even your thing. Come and hang out. It's a good time.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Thursday, what do we got coming up Thursday, Shawn?
Thursday we will have the women's show. So
Brianna.
Brianna will be
Come
on.
and check out Brianna.
And yeah,
It's
so we got gaming tomorrow night, Brianna coming up on Thursday, and then like always, next Tuesday we will be back again with another Live to Roll live, and next week we got a show with that iBot people that make that crazy chair. So you check them out or check that out. It's pretty interesting. I tried it out, so fun.
They're actually sponsoring us for the month of February as well. So you're going
Yes.
to be hearing a new ad read for iBuy the next 4 weeks. And we're going to be talking about how cool that chair is and how you can maybe even get one yourself. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about sex. We're going to be talking about dating. We're going to be talking about love and the other
That's
side of love. And
that's what I was gonna say. We got a Valentine's Day show too because we do have one coming up in 2 weeks. So
so, yeah, hi,
that
Joey,
will be the
buddy.
topic. Yeah.
There's
So
going to
stay
be
tuned,
a lot
guys.
of fun content, and it's going to be off the rails. It's going to be wild. So make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of it.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
me and Sean
Subscribe,
might
notify.
be starting an OnlyFans. It's all alleged. You got to show
Hey.
up every week to find
If we have subscribers, let's go. Just kidding. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a fun stream, and we'll see you next week. And see Tom tomorrow. All
out.
right, later, guys. Live to roll, everybody.